So another T20I series and another series win for this Indian T20I team. I know this team is not 100% certain. I know everything about this team is not top notch. But say whatever you would, this has to be the best T20I unit on the planet. In fact, if you ask me, looking back into history, I can't think of any team in history dominating the most uncertain format in the cricketing universe. T20I, as you know, is a format where consistency is something that is rarely found. And yet, this Indian T20I team under Suryakumar Yadav have found that. And that's, as I said, a rarity. It's been a year and a half under his leadership that they've not lost a single T20I series. Dare I say, even when it comes to multinational tournaments, they've been unbelievable, winning a lot of them, being undefeated. So that's something rare that you find. I know we're heading into a T20I World Cup. There'll be lots of things that we'll talk about that still can be fixed. Yet the Indian team, as you head into that T20I World Cup in 2026, in the month of February, just 2 months away, India will definitely start as the favorites. Let's address the final T20I. India winning the series 3-1. On paper, a 30-run win does seem like a convincing performance, but I have to say that this game in Ahmedabad was anything but convincing. It was nail-biting. Till the time South Africa lost their 8th wicket, that of Marco Jansen, you were still biting your nails. The game could have gone anywhere. And for us celebrating a series win, it could very well have been a tied series. But that's where India held their nerves. It was also a game of two halves. India did well with the bat, but South Africa came back firing. And when till the time Quinton Kock was on the crease, you thought, the game can go anywhere. And that carried on till the Marco Jansen dismissal that I just spoke about. In the end, India sneaking through. And I think there are two big heroes for the Indian team in this game. With the ball, Jasprit Bumrah, 2 wickets, worth his weight in gold. An economy of 4.35, which is unbelievable in a game where 400 plus runs have been scored. And I think that's the value that Jasprit Bumrah brings to the table. Had he not been here, maybe the result could have been different. It seldom happens that a bowler who's picked up 4 wickets like Varun Chakravarthy did today, he's not marked as one of the heroes because his economy is at 13. You can pick up 4 wickets, but if you're going to leak runs as much as he did, India would have still been on the losing side. So I think it was that Jasprit Bumrah contribution of 2 wickets, economy of 4.5, absolutely top notch. And then you have to go to the knock that Hardik Pandya played. I mean, he was a man possessed. I could sense a lot of anger in him. I don't know for whatever reason, but that anger really came out on the South African bowlers where he absolutely butchered the ball. When he is batting in this flow, there are very few bowling attacks that can stop him. He's coming back from an injury too. Remember, it was a comeback series. But dare I say, someone who was a match winner to begin with, he's looking like even a bigger match winner ever since he's come back from that injury. Absolutely worth his weight in gold as India heads into this T20 World Cup. Top-notch match winner, not for the Indian team, but I'd say globally in T20 cricket, that is Hardik Pandya. Now to the 2 questions, and I know those 2 questions will be spoken about. One of them, of course, has to be Shubman Gill. He didn't play. Sanju Samson replaces him. Sanju Samson gets 37. What do I make of that 37? And it's a very, very tough question. At one point, I look at that strike rate, 168, incredible. So let me take a look at those advantages. I think what Sanju Samson, Abhishek Sharma did today was a breath of fresh air. And I think for the very first time in some time, you saw a power play where Indian batters dominated. That wasn't happening for some time. Who would have thought that Abhishek Sharma, who's become the epitome of being an aggressive batter, the one who sets the benchmark when it comes to aggressive batting, he had the lowest strike rate for any Indian batter who had gotten into double figures. And so Sanju Samson with that 168 strike rate, getting 37 runs, I think is important. If you ask me, between a Shubman Gill, Sanju Samson, because of the template of cricket that the Indian team is playing right now, where everyone has to go attacking, and that's been the secret success, why they've been doing so well, And if I keep the Indian batting template in mind, at the moment, I'd have to say that Sanju Samson is slightly better suited than Shubman Gill because of what Indian team wants to achieve. Having said that, has Sanju Samson really grabbed his opportunity? Not quite. That's what happens. Strike rate is good power play. But had he gone past a 50, that half century, 60, 70, something that Hardik Pandya did, then it's very tough for you to then drop him when Shubman is fit. And on that front, that has been something that he's been found wanting in the past as well. I wish he would have taken full use of this opportunity. Having said that, I would still want the Indian team. I know there's a bit of a gap. You'll play the New Zealand T20 as series. You played Sanju for one game. Give him a couple more chances. How that helps? Then you can take a more educated call as to who should be your opener with Abhishek. Should you go back to Shubman or should you stick with Sanju Samson? Give Sanju a couple more games and then make that decision. Because if you were to go back to Abhishek and just give Sanju this one chance, I don't think that would be fair. And for the sake of the Indian team, I'm not siding with either Shubman or Sanju, but I want a clear picture. That clear picture can only emerge if you give Sanju a few more chances going forward. I'd like to see that. What I saw today, on the basis of that, I'd still say, and looking back at what Sanju had achieved before he was taken away from that opening position where he's really comfortable in, all that put together, at the moment, for the sake of the Indian team, the kind of template they're playing, I would want Sanju slightly ahead of Shubman Gill. Then to the other question of Suryakumar Yadav. Runs aren't coming. I think in his entire career, this has to be that one calendar year, 2025, where he's got the least amount of average. And that really surprises you because just about a couple of years ago, he was being hailed as the best T20I batter on the planet. Not just with the Indian team, best T20I batter on the planet. What's really happened? Again, I'm scratching my head to get to the bottom of it because we just had an IPL where he set a record. The last IPL where he had the most consecutive 50s ever in the history of the IPL. You thought he was in form and then that form has deserted him. Many say that, okay, he'll get runs when it's flat tracks, but that's not happened in this India series as well. I hope that happens because all I care right now is about the T20 World Cup. He's your captain. Too late to drop him. So even if you're thinking about any other option, other than Suryakumar Yadav, that's not going to happen. So I think it's better that we now start concentrating on areas where we need to focus on. And that focus area cannot be to find a replacement of Sky at this point. I think that focus area needs to be, how do we get back Sky into form? Flat pitches, gets back into form, does well in the World Cup. If that's the case, I'd be happy. But we are not seeing signs of that happening either. What is it down to? Again, as I said, with Shubman, sometime I feel he's a fish out of water in T20I cricket. I can't say the same about Sky. Then why aren't the runs coming? At one point, I was of the opinion, maybe because he's being too adventurous, runs aren't coming. Now he's trying to be conventional, still runs aren't coming. I don't know. Is it an injury somewhere that he hasn't disclosed that's bothering him? I don't know. Is it his mental state of mind that's not really helping him out? I don't know. But all I'd want Sky to do, utilize this 20-21 day break that Indian cricket has, which is a rarity. They have a New Year break. Very rarely do Indian cricketers get that. Maybe spend some time fixing that issue. I don't know whether it'll be prudent of him to play Vijay Hazare. I know a different format, but no harm. Just play some cricket, get some runs under your belt. Will boost that confidence. Whatever it is, there's still enough time for him to sort it out because you aren't going to this T20 World Cup without your captain. And that really needs fixing. Apart from that, gun team, best T20I team on the planet, the ones to watch out in this T20 World Cup.